Hello and welcome to our today's webinar about business intelligence. My name is Anna Ogunusi. I'm Business Development Manager in Easy Software, and I will be your today's host for today's webinar. So first of all, let me actually switch to Easy Redmine trial. If you want to set up a trial, assuming you might not have one yet, you just go to our website. It can be on the homepage, and you can simply find signing up for the trial, or if you already signed up, you'll find your link to your trial over here. But of course, this can be beneficial for you already if you are our existing client, no matter if you have already business intelligence plugin or if you don't have it yet. So what will we be talking about today? So as you can see, this is my trial. This is the 30 days trial that you can get, so you can try Easy Redmine for free. And of course, even the 30 days free trial includes business intelligence. So the aim of today's webinar is to show you how you can benefit from this amazing tool, which is business intelligence. Business intelligence is quite a broad term, and you can imagine probably anything under this term, like transforming existing data into actionable knowledge relating to business. So, and this is actually what this business intelligence plugin for Easy Redmine offers. We came up with this plugin to help our customers to find answers of business value. And answers you can get with business intelligence plugin include which products, projects, or services that you offer are most profitable, which one to focus on, and which one you should discontinue, which markets, if you operate in various markets all over the world, are the most profitable. You can also find which segments are the most profitable for you, as in what concrete product in what country is the best. Then you can also get insights if you connect it with your Google Ads account. You can get insights into your Google Ads campaigns, formerly AdWords. And you can also follow your current trends, the business trends, and you can be comparing it to your past results. So now the question is how actually we can access business intelligence in your Easy Redmine. I would also like to tell you that in your toolbar of this webinar, there is Q&A tool, questions and answers. So should you have any questions, feel free to use that. Just type in your question, and I will either get back to them during the webinar or at the end of the webinar. Should there be some very technical questions, we can ask our support to help you with that if you need help with settings specifically for your application. So let's get into our business intelligence plugin. So when you get to your Easy Redmine, this is probably the homepage you have. So definitely, if you have a trial and if you haven't changed your dashboard, this is the homepage dashboard that you will end up on. And the easiest way to get to your business intelligence is through the menu More in the top right corner, and scroll down and click on Business Intelligence. So what does actually business intelligence do? This plugin, it accesses and analyzes the existing data that you have within your application, the Easy Redmine, that you store there, and it can also retrieve data that you stored in your Google Ads account. So it can combine these two, and based on those data, it makes real-time business insights. So anytime you change your data, you input your data, it takes it into notice, and you get real-time data that you can use for your analysis. This tool is very good, especially for C-level management and senior management. So it gives you a great overview of your business. So the analysis that the business intelligence provides, you will find out that you get many like variety of data or of outputs such as reports, summaries, dashboards, graphs, charts, etc. And the information that you get, that's something that we can look at right now. So once we click on Business Intelligence in the menu more, it brings us to the homepage of Business Intelligence. Because as you can see, this dashboard actually has several tabs, which is company, countries, products, users, projects, and CRM. So these are various levels that we can access the data at. Well, let's start with the company. Naturally, you can also change and customize it for your business needs, but this is the default settings that you will find in your business intelligence. However, I strongly suggest that once you purchase business intelligence, that you also purchase our implementation services. So the business intelligence in your Easy Redmine completely meets the needs of your business, so you can see the data that you specifically need to see. So company, you can see that on top of the dashboard, you can actually we have some filters here, and you will find it that you have it on all the tabs. There's various filters. So on the company one, we have filter date, so we can filter by date. If you are familiar with filters in Easy Redmine, this will be like a recap for you. So it allows you to actually select what date you want to see the data for. The best for you probably is like the fiscal year, next fiscal year, quarters, etc. By default, there will be last 90 days. Then you can also switch between products. So here, for the purpose of the demonstration with the demo data that we have in our Easy Redmine trial, we have 4 products, simply calling them product 1 to 4. Then we have a country. This is really good for you, especially if you offer your products or services in more than one countries, because this will help you, and especially the combination of product and country, this will help you to determine which product in which country is the golden mine for you. So like for instance, for us, we also, as Easy Software, we offer several products such as Easy Redmine, Redmine plugins, Easy Project, and Calculoid. And of course, we are the success we have in with these products is different in each country. So in one country, we might be more successful with Easy Redmine. In another country, we'll be more successful with Calculoid. And based on this knowledge, we can actually adjust our marketing cost and increase our return on investment, which is what we all essentially want. We want to make more money with less cost. And also the currency, especially if you work, as I said, in various countries, on different markets, you probably work with different currencies. The currencies you have here by default is Euro and US dollars, but it can be changed based on the currencies you have in your finance management in the budget settings. So if you need any other currency in, you can always edit, but first you need to change the settings in your budget. So, and then under the filters, we can find what we call trends. The reason why we call it trends is that not only we see the real-time data numbers over here in this line, but we can also see the trend as in compared to the previous period. So as we now are looking at the last 90 days, here we see the trend being compared to the previous 90 days. So we can see how the campaign cost has changed, how other costs that it has increased, how personal cost has decreased, income has come up, and our ROI has increased as well. And these are the basic data that you will see on this dashboard, such as campaign costs. This is, as I already mentioned a couple of times, it's based on the Google AdWords. So it's connected, you can easily connect it with your Google Ads account, and it'll be taking into notice also your spendings on Google, which is very handy if you of course if you use Google, but I assume you do if you do your marketing and if you market your products. Then other costs, so that's that depends on your budget entries. So you know, in your budgets you have incomes, expenses, the budget entries can be anything, any kind of spendings that you have within your company, within your business. Then we have personal cost, which is calculated based on spend time multiplied by internal rate. That's again something you set up in your budget. So you choose the internal rate for your staff, for your team members, and based on the spend time that they log on their tasks and projects, it calculates the personal cost. Then, of course, incomes, that's again based on the budget entries. Of course, that's based on your sales. And all these put together, then we get ROI, which is return on investment, which means how profitable the business really is. Another quite interesting feature when we scroll down, it is this integrated calculator, which is actually a calculator. So as I mentioned before, we actually have another product where you can create all sorts of forms and calculators. And here the reason why we integrated it in Redmine specifically into our business intelligence is to see how these trends and how these numbers that we can see above here would change if one of them changes. So let's see how that works. So let's say we would assume that our operation profit would increase to 300,000, or AdWords, this is actually the result, sorry. So that our AdWords cost, the spendings that on our Google Ads account would increase. And based on this one number that I have just added, as you can see, it adjusted the operations profit, the profitability, marketing ROI, and total ROI. And the same, so here we have the personal cost here is 47,600. That's actually 1,000. So let's see if we put it to 50,000. And you can see it again changed the operation profit and the profitability and the total ROI compared to this, for instance. We can also change other expenses. So by default, here is the other cost. So you can see these two numbers are the same. And let's see what happens if we change that. So our ROI just decreased. So as I said, this is something that can give you an idea what would happen if one of these variables, the data you have, would actually change, how it will affect the rest of the data, especially the return on investment. So this is good, especially when you are, for instance, planning your budget for the Google Ads service. So you can add it here. You can add your budget over here, and you will realize, you can see how it would affect the rest, how your return on investment would increase, decrease, etc. So this will help you a lot when planning your budget for the next quarter or the year. So this is a tool that can help you to simulate what could happen in various situations. And then when we scroll down, we come to other part, which is graphs. Here we have row top countries, which means that we actually can be counting also not only the total return on investment, but also the return on investment for each country separately. So here we have, as an example, Czech, Germany, US, Great Britain, China, Japan, and the rest. And we can see the ROI over here. So from this, for instance, if we were using it for our marketing purpose, we would see that the return on investment is highest in Czech, meaning that we spend quite, for the little we spend on marketing, we get a lot of profit in that country. So this is actually a place for us. Based on this analysis, we know that it's actually very profitable for us to put more money into marketing campaigns in Czech than in Japan, because it brings us higher return on investment. So let's say for $1 spent, we get much more in Czech than for $1 spent in Japan. What's very interesting about all the charts and graphs that you will find in business intelligence is that they have various levels, as in you can keep going in depth to find out how these numbers were actually calculated. Let's show you what I mean. So if we click on check over here, let's actually go further to the other charts, and then I will show you how you can go through the data. So then we also have incomes per country. So this data is different from the previous graph, and simply because it's only taking into account the income but not the cost that we have in the country. So here you would see the income. You can also, when you come to the bar, it will show you exactly what data is taking into notice, such as here it's real income without VAT, and again it depends on your settings whether you want it to show with VAT, without VAT, etc. Each of these graphs and charts can be obviously also edited or deleted from the dashboard. And all that is done through these icons. So you probably know that the bin icon, obviously you can delete it from there, or you can edit it. When you click on the pen icon, you can edit the filter. If you are familiar with the dashboards that we use within Redmine, you probably know how. So this works exactly the same way. So you choose the entity, currency, and then you choose the chart options, such as what should be showing on the x-axis and y-axis. So you can change that and adjust it to your needs. Then, as I mentioned, you can, in case you have several products, you can also see the products, the income per product, which is over here. Then with this map, you could also see like the new customers within in the world, so you can look in a bit more detail on the countries on the map that you are interested in, and you can play with that. Unfortunately, at the moment it's showing new customers 0, so I can't show you what it looks like. But if we had some number of customers over here, it would be showing the numbers on the map in the particular location where they are, which also gives you a good idea about the spread of your customers. And then also the incomes per product, which we had there in bar chart. You can also have them in pie chart, and you can also here the AdWords spent per country. That's some data that is based on your Google Ads account. So for this, you need to actually connect it with your Google Ads account, which is something that can be easily done, and you will find that in our documentation as step by step how to link the business intelligence plugin with Google Ads. It's as simple as you have to create a Google Ads Manager account, which you probably have if you are already running Google Ads. Then you have to generate a developer token, and in the Google Ads Manager account, you click, there is something like apply for basic access link, and then you will use that. So there is like several steps that you need to go through, and then basically you go through, it takes you through some questions that you need to answer and fill in like a form, and then you have to wait for the application to be approved by Google. And once it's approved by Google, then you will create a token in Google Console, you will download it, and then you will paste it into BI administration. So since that's something that I just mentioned, so before we go further in the showing you the different dashboards, let me actually take you to the BI administration. How to access BI administration. So this is something that can be obviously accessed only by the account administrators, so usually the project managers within your application. and you access it by clicking on menu more, and then down here there is administration. Let's open it in a new tab. Once we get to the administration, we will scroll down to plugins, which are just at the bottom of our administration, and then we will find Easy BI, which is the name for business intelligence, and you will find it almost at the bottom in risk plugins. So business intelligence over here, and then that's where you access the settings. So here you can see that this is where you modify the data you want to be taking from your Google Ads account. And this is where you upload the file that I mentioned that you will get in your Google Ads Manager account. You will upload it over here, which is the token that allows it to connect with your Google account. So that was something a bit more about the administration. And let's get back to our dashboard. So we came to the very bottom of our first tab, which was the country. And just like any dashboard, you can customize this page, this dashboard, to personalize it for yourself, to make it to show the exact data that you need to see. And that's simply done by customize this page. And you can use it on any dashboard in your Easy Redmine. They all work the same way. So over here, you can choose the modules that you want to see there. You can also delete them, you can copy them, etc. So this is the settings for each module that you can also access through the pen icon. But just in case you want to add a module, as in you want to add an extra bar chart or a graph or a pie chart or anything, that thing needs to be done through customizing your page. Editing and deleting of existing modules can be done on the dashboard without having to access the customize this page too. And you just choose the module over here. For the purpose of BI, we use a lot of trends, bar charts, line charts, pie charts, etc. But of course, you can use CRM cases by filter, which we'll get to in a bit. And should you need to add a tab to these existing ones, you can just click here on adding a tab. You can also choose which one of these tabs will be default for your mobile view, because you can access business intelligence on your mobile as easily as you access any other features of Easy Redmine application on your mobile phone, which you probably know. You can work with your Easy Redmine on your mobile phone. So here you can choose which tab will be default for the mobile view. It does not necessarily have to be the first one. It can be any of these. So let's just leave the customizing the page and let's go back. So we had a look at the company, and let's go to countries. Again, on the tab of countries, so now rather than focusing on the company overall, we are focusing on the countries. So we can choose which countries. Again, the date, we can choose the period we are working with, product, country, currency. So the filter is the same. And then we get a little bit different trends. So by default, we have here leads, clients, campaign costs, incomes, ROI. However, you can change it anyhow you want. Then the incomes per product, which we actually already saw. Then we have here a line chart, actually, which is the incomes in time. So we can see the trend, how it develops in time. Then marketing cost, if we had any. Here it would be showing the top 20 campaigns. So again, this is based on the Google Ads data that we get from the Google Ads account. Then you can also see actually here sales managers, so their income. And this is what I was talking about, the different levels you get with the charts and the graphs you get. So here when we click, or let's click on me over here. So when we click on this part of the pie chart, it'll actually bring us to a pop-up window, which shows us the next level. So the pie chart was showing the income per sales managers. And when we click on a particular sales manager, it'll bring us to another kind of a dashboard where we can see the details regarding this sales manager. So because we are previously looking at the last 90 days, we will stick to that and it will show us the pop-up window for that. We can, obviously, we can change the user over here, but we can just stick to that. Then you can also filter by projects and filter by currency. And then you have some trends over here, such as task activities, as in how many activities they had on the task, how many sales activity the particular sales manager logged in the last 90 days, how much spend time they have logged, and what was their personal cost in the last 90 days. And then we also see activity feed, which is really good. So which means that you can actually see what updates they were doing within the system, what they were working on within the past 90 days or recently. You can also see spend time by product, meaning what product they mainly work on, whether they log their time as billable or not, which is something that you might or might not be using within your Easy Redmine, and what tasks they have grouped by the project, and then earnings versus personal cost. And then we also can, for instance, filter their CRM cases, etc. So that was the tab called countries. Then we have something very similar on products. So again, slightly different trends showing over here, such as new clients leads, incomes per country, which we already saw on the previous steps, planned fulfillment. So you can actually set up the targets over here and see how far you are with fulfilling them. You can also see the incomes per project, as in which project is the most earning. And again, with this, when you click on it, a pop-up window will show and we'll see the next level. So you can be going like deeper and deeper. So when we clicked on this project, which is budget 3, we are looking at the data from the last 90 days. And there is another pie chart, which is spend time by user. So we can see we basically have 2 users working on this project. And when we click on another one of them, again, another pop-up window will load, which is for this user in particular. And then there is more graphs and charts and a map again. Then we have users. Users is very good when you use the resource management and budget in Easy Redmine. So here you can actually see what tasks, how many tasks they are working on, what sales activities do they have, what spend time they logged, what's the personal cost. Then you of course see the activity feed that I already showed you for myself earlier, the spend time, the billable time, the projects, etc. So if we, for instance, you can select a particular user over here. Let's try Conning Consultant. You could also choose a project, but if you want to see like the overall data that we get for Conning Consultant within Easy Redmine, we just choose her and we choose if it's for last 30 days, fiscal year, month, or anything. Always make sure that you click on apply when you change the filters. And then the data for Conning Consultant will show, including the activity feed, so what she has logged within the system, her spend time, the tasks and projects, etc. Then we have a tab called projects. So we will see how many open tasks we have on all projects. So you can see that, for instance, here there is 669 open tasks. And if we choose a particular project, such as, let's just for demonstration of budget, and we click on apply, it'll change. So now it's showing just for this particular project. Let's choose another one and see if we get some data there. Okay, so for instance, for the project budget one, we have just 4 open tasks. You will see the spend time, estimated time on the tasks, how much has actually been logged in real time, the incomes, expenses, and all the trends compared to the previous period. And then we also have a tab called CRM, which is really good for your sales department. So you can have an overview of how your sales department is doing, as in how many customers you got in your last 90 days, how many new leads, how much you made from the deals you won, what's the forecast from the sales team, and you can see that in pies and charts as well. So this was just a quick overview on what the business intelligence looks like and how it can benefit your business, because business intelligence plugin brings all the key data, KPIs, and metrics about your business, and it brings it to a single screen. And that's why we strongly suggest for the C-levels, especially for the C-levels and senior level managers, to be using this plugin to analyze data from invoicing, project earnings, cost, also personal costs, other costs. So all the inputs that you have from your budgets, from your resource management, from your CRM, and of course you can integrate it with your Google Ads account as well. And all these numbers that you get within your system altogether, they create the return on investment, which as we know is essentially the most important number for most of the businesses, because we need to know how well are we doing, if we are profitable or not, and how profitable we are, which country and products are most profitable for us to focus on, and which ones we should essentially check because we are not making enough money there. We also get the graphs and charts which are clickable and which can bring us to another level of the data, where you can explore the sub-items they made at the total number. So you can easily see how the number was calculated. And we also get to see the activity feed, which is a very useful feature that shows you the activity of your team members in a timeline view. So basically you get all the important data that you have within your Easy Redmine without having to go various places, such as click to the budget, then click to the resource management, and then go completely somewhere else into your Google Ads account. Here you have it in one place. So for you, it's the best tool for you to analyze the data and the metrics you have within your Easy Redmine. And it's also a really good tool, especially if you are a team leader, or if you have if you run a department, and also if you have to report to your managers that are above you, because this will help you to prepare those reports rather than having to count it somewhere else, or I don't know, export it separately from budgets, and then export some data from resource management, and then having to put it in Excel sheet or something to get the final numbers, or having to use the calculator on your mobile phone to count the return on investment. This way you actually have everything here, and it's in such a nice way that it's actually even presentable, so you don't need to then go into you don't need to waste time on making PowerPoint presentation, you just have it ready and you can come to a meeting and just open your Easy Redmine. Or you can simply give them a link, show them where it is, and naturally, because they are your managers, they will have access to that. You can show them where they can see it without you having to just email it every morning or every evening to them. So it's very useful. It definitely saves time, and it just makes everything very transparent in your business and helps you to make the best business decisions that will bring much more profit to your company. So now, because we have some people on this webinar that are not our clients, then we have people who are our clients and don't have a business intelligence yet, and then we also have people on this webinar that do have business intelligence but are still exploring it or looking to change the settings, etc. First of all, should you have any settings related questions, I suggest you contact our support, because those guys and girls, of course, like these, are very technical and they will help you with the settings, because the settings can be different for everyone based on the industry you are in and the trends and the data you want to see on your business intelligence dashboard. You can always contact us via email, via phone, or the fastest way is just to click here in the right down corner, and you will get straight to our support team. Just type in and they will get back to you as soon as they can. Let's see if we have some questions. So the question was, can we connect to any other data than Google Ads like Excel sheet? Well, the way the business intelligence is created, it's that it works with the data you have within your Easy Redmine, and then it takes into notice your Google Ads account. So I suggest if you work with Excel, well, it would really depend on what type of data you keep in your Excel, because I believe that whether it's resource management data, budget data, it can be input initially into your Easy Redmine, and then you can keep it and manage it and run it into your Easy Redmine without the need of Excel sheet, really. Because in Easy Redmine, it's much more easier to manage it, and yes, so it you can't really be up. There wouldn't be a way to do it like uploading an Excel sheet every day or something like that. Then there is a question from Marty. Now we can show only 2 data series in one plot. Can you add more series? I'm not quite sure what you meant by the series. So if you can specify and explain your question in other words, I will do my best to answer it. And if we don't answer it now, as I said, you can contact our support. Now, especially for those people who have only a trial, there is, as you can see on top of the trial over here, there is what we call trial settings, and there's also a button explore plans and pricing. So when you are ready to purchase, you can simply click that, and you can go to our pricing page where you will find out the plans that we offer, such as small team, medium team, large team, or enterprise. If you have more than 100 users, we will get in touch with you and we will prepare a quote. And also, once you choose your the size of your team, then you would click on continue. And this is where you choose the solution you want, as in 1 month, 12 months. Naturally, the more months you go for, the cheaper it gets. Then you choose the plugins and services and the additional plugins over here as well. So that would be the pricing page. For our existing clients, when you already have access to your client zone, you can go, let's go back to the home page. You can click on your customer portal when you have logged in, and then on client zone. This is where you will see your solution type. If you are our existing client, you can also fill in your account info here. If you are our existing client, you will also find what solution you have, what team, how many members, or what plugins you have. Everything you'll find it here. And then you can also purchase the extra plugins you need. As in for business intelligence, if you are an existing client and you have your account manager in Easy software, just contact your account manager and discuss your needs for business intelligence, and they can prepare a quote tailor-made for you. So this was about, so I already showed you how to also access the pricing page and your client zone, your customer portal. Customer portal is also a place where you can not only access your client zone, but you can also create support tickets in the help desk. You can purchase services if you need. You can see the invoice, and you can also purchase video conferencing minutes. So today we had a quick webinar through our business intelligence to show you how it works and how your business can benefit from that. We will be now running webinars on a regular basis. So there will be another webinar in 2 weeks' time, which would be beginning of September already. And we will be informing you about the upcoming webinar and the topic for the upcoming webinar, which I actually believe will be Gantt this time. So we will be sending out an email so you can register for the webinar. We have, I believe, 100 seats available for the webinar, so make sure you register as soon as you get the information. And I hope to see you at our future webinars. And meanwhile, I wish you good luck with your projects.